Let me do it big, let me pull up to your mansion. All my old flames are looking kinda handsome. Yeah, I'm missing out, yeah, I'm spending time in France, but I'm gonna make it home. Let me do it big, I'll pull up to your mansion. Missed a year and then some, but I'm gonna make it home.
Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. My guest this week is up-and-coming French-American soul, jazz, R&B artist who's just released her first EP, Globe, which she recorded here in Paris. India Naia, thank you so much for being here on Arts 24.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's an utter pleasure to meet you. Now, as I was saying, you've just released your first EP, which it will please people who are fans of R&B and pop from the early 2000s. I'm getting Destiny's Child vibes from it. Who were your main influences, and was that the vibe you were going for?
That was absolutely the vibe we were going for with this EP. It's definitely a mixture of early 2000s R&B influences and more modern influences. Flo, this girl band from the UK, really inspired a few songs on the EP. And other than that, you know, Alicia Keys, Stevie Wonder, all of those people are huge influences to me. And also some newer rap women from the US.
Oh,
so
like
I love them. They're huge influences for me, even though it's not a rap EP, but...
Yeah, who are the women who...
So Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, and also a little bit of pop, you know, Ariana Grande, R&B, Alex Isley, all of those people really influenced me.
Very cool. Well, so you are American-French, kind of. What's your story? Because you're from Jacksonville in the US, and you moved to Paris. Tell us how that all happened.
Yeah, so I was actually born in Germany and raised in North Florida. So when I was a kid, I lived in Paris for a year with my family, and I learned French, and then went back to Florida. And after high school, I was just like, you know what? I'm ready to go back. I loved it so much. I love Paris. I love the vibe. And so I came back at 18, and now I've been here for about 7 years.
That's exciting. You've also got some Algerian heritage.
Yes, exactly. So my mom is half German and half Algerian. And so it's really amazing to be in France because I feel like a new connection. I feel closer to my Algerian heritage being here because there's a lot of influences here. And so that's really nice also.
Oh. Well, how about check out one of your latest videos taken from your EP, Globe?
Let's do it.
Where my roses at, so my feet hurt, so put me in a cab, baby. Careful with who you're playing. If it don't pay, I must be crazy, yeah. Cause there's a million other things that I could do, yeah. Maybe I should just do it. There's a million other men just like you, yeah. You want me to prove it, and it won't take me too long for 3, 2, 1. I'm on the road cruising. If I no longer pretend that I like you, yeah, I'm gonna, you're losing.
A fiercely independent track there, A Million Other Things from India's new EP, Globe. Very independent, very girl power. Tell us a little bit about, so living in Paris, you said it kind of influenced you in what ways, in your songwriting, but also as a person?
Yeah, I think it influenced my personality a lot. I really like being with people from lots of different countries, and that's how it is living in Paris. You're really like connected to so many different people with so many different stories, so that's really great. And yeah, I like to bring a piece of Jacksonville, Florida to Paris. I think it's really interesting to share that part of myself with people here and to see their reactions. It's a really cool mix.
And what are the themes you generally write about in your music?
So like you said, it's a lot of kind of female empowerment. I just like to make people feel good about themselves, have a good time, and that, and of course, heartbreak, love, all of that. So one of the big singles on this EP is called Globe as well. And it was written during the first confinement during COVID. And it's a really deep, emotional song that I wrote from Florida with my producer being in France.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of confidence boost. There's a little bit of heartbreak. And so, yeah, that's kind of the mix I was going for.
So you're ending 2023 with an EP coming out. What's next for 2024? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, so this EP came out on my 26th birthday. And so for the new year, I really just want to focus on bringing my music to the stage, performing more. I'd like to really travel with my music, so I'd love to perform in the UK, in France, definitely, and maybe in the US. So
Okay.
that's the goal.
Well, we wish you get all that in 2024. That's quite exciting. Now, you may have noticed people have been flooding social media with their most listened to artist stats. It's that time of the year when the streaming giant Spotify gives out the numbers. The most streamed artists of 2023 were The Weeknd, Bad Bunny, and Taylor Swift, who even released a new track to thank her fans for more than 26.1 billion streams globally since January the 1st. Now, artists who are already on major record labels and incredibly successful across the board like those, I don't have a problem. But maybe if you are a younger up-and-coming artist, you know how badly the Swedish streaming platform pays. It pays as poorly as 0.003 cents per stream. And if you're up-and-coming, well, it's not going to get any better, because as of 2024, musicians who will now have to garner a minimum of 1,000 streams per song over the space of a year. Spotify claims this will help combat fake accounts and the use of streaming platforms and farms, that the money will be also redirected to up-and-coming artists over the next 5 years. India, how do you feel as a young artist that you have this challenge of a streaming platform? Do you get exposure, but do you not get the money for the work you put in, perhaps?
Definitely. I mean, it's kind of a shame, you know, we're already, all the social media platforms are super saturated with up-and-coming artists, which on the one hand is amazing. So it's great for us. We're really getting the chance to put our music out there. But as far as payment goes, it's just really a shame, because, you know, you put your heart and soul into this work and you want it to be recognized. So we'll see how that changes over the year. There are a lot of possibilities for growth on media platforms like TikTok and stuff like that. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, it's a shame, and it's disappointing for young artists, I would say.
Yeah, maybe if artists could get a union, something would change,
Yeah.
like the movie industry. But on a more happy note, who were your artists that you listened to the most this year?
So my top 5 artists, I had Nicki Minaj in the first place. So like I said, I'm very influenced by female rappers, specifically over in the US, but also I've noticed some in France as well. And yes, Doja Cat is a huge influence. She's had a very tumultuous year with a lot of scandals, but I just really love her musicality. I really, really love what she does. And SZA, of course, was a big name in R&B and pop this year. Ariana Grande and yeah, Kali Uchis as well. These are all women who really inspire me.
Oh, well, it's funny that you mentioned Nicki Minaj, because she is about to release her 5th studio album this week. It's her first in 5 years, and apparently a sequel to her debut album that came out in 2010. Here's the track Last Time I Saw You, performed at this year's MTV Video Music Awards.
I wish I remembered to say I'd do anything for you. Maybe I pushed you away because I thought that I'd fool you.
Listen, so close but we were so distant. Wish I'd have known in that instant. Ignored the hints or I missed it. I killed it. You'd always be in attendance. No flights but always attendant. Handwritten letter you penned it. The nights we wish never ended. Those rules that we wish we bended. Heartbreak that we never mended. Those messages we unsended.
Minaj there with a song that you can find on her new album that's out this week. Now, you're a big fan. What's your take on how excited are you about this album
I'm
coming out?
super excited. Yeah, the other album that you just referenced, I was in middle school when I was listening to that album, and she was just in my little headphones all the time. She's a huge influence for me, and her confidence and really the power that she brings to the music industry is unmatched. So it's a huge influence.
And who are the female French rappers that you like a lot?
Well, I've listened to a few. I mean, I know more personally, I have a few friends who have kind of gotten into rap, and I'm really just a huge fan of what they're doing. And it's amazing to see French rappers kind of, because there's a few less women, I think, than in the US. And it's amazing to see them coming up, and it's really inspiring.
Oh, well, India, thank you so much for coming here on the Art24 Plateau set to talk about your EP Globe. Check it out. I'm afraid it's all we've got time for, as the latest news bulletin is coming up in just a few minutes. We're going to play out with Neil Young. The 78-year-old folk rock legend is releasing a new album of reworked tracks entitled Before and After this week, but he's also recently dropped a new instrumental track of the American national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, on electric guitar, similar to Jimi Hendrix. It's called Stand for Peace. Let's check it out.